Hi, welcome to my presentation on understanding backcountry terrain. What is an avalanche? An avalanche is described in the Merriam-Webster dictionary as a large mass of snow, ice, earth, rock, or other material moving in a swift motion down a mountain or precipice. According to Tanya Mosley at WBUR, who interviewed Brian Lazar, an avalanche specialist, 21 people have been killed in avalanches since December of 2020. 14 of those deaths were in the first week of February alone, making it one of the most deadly avalanche seasons in years. Brian goes on to say we're only halfway through the season. We're 3/4 of the way to the amount of fatalities we'd see in a typical year. In this presentation, I'm going to describe the conditions behind avalanches, and I'm also going to give you some insight on burial rescue gear and how you can get educated. Facets. According to Zach Guy at the Crested Butte Avalanche Center, facets form early in the season when the ground is quite warm. There's a shallow snowpack and the air gets cold, especially at night. This drives the water vapor upward through the snowpack, causing it to facet. Faceting happens when ice crystals that make up the snow turn from small and round to large and flat and have trouble bonding to each other. This can be buried by a more dense and better bonded load of snow, creating conditions for slab avalanches. So for time's sake, I'm not going to go over all of these diagrams. I'm only going to go over the ones that are most related to what's going on in the Northwest. So storm slab. Storm slab avalanches happen when the higher density snow is deposited on the weak layer during a storm. A larger storm can create a larger avalanche in this case. Wind slab. The snow can be deposited on the faceted layer by wind, causing wind slab avalanches to occur. Wet slab. When a warming event such as sun or rain causes the density of the surface layer to rise on top of a weak layer, a wet slab avalanche can occur. Cornices. Wind can deposit snow on top of a steep ridge, and warming events can cause these cornices that are created by the snow deposition to fall and either accumulate snow as they go or trigger a larger avalanche. Persistent slab. This can happen when the weak layer has been buried in the middle of the snowpack for weeks or months. The avalanches that they cause are hard to trigger, but persist for a very long time after the first one is triggered. Deep persistent slab is a lot like the regular persistent slab. It's just buried deeper in the snowpack. Avalanche problems near us. Right now, I checked Northwest Avalanche Center today, and the avalanche danger is low, but there still is a slight danger for wind slab avalanches at higher elevations. Gear. This gear should be considered a necessity when traveling in the backcountry. And I'm going to start with the shovel. This is a collapsible shovel that you can break down to fit in your pack. The next is a probe. This is a tent pole-like device that's also collapsible that you can pull out and erect to probe for a burial victim. Next is a transceiver. This is an electronic device that is worn by people traveling in the backcountry, and it either emits a signal in one mode or receives a signal in the other mode. Your backpack should be able to fit all of this gear, plus extra room for first aid kit, some water, and maybe some food and some extra layers. So the dangers to humans of avalanches are burials. If someone is buried, there's no time for panic. You need to move quickly. You need everyone in your group to have their transceivers on search mode, which is usually marked by the letters SE. When you're riding, it's important to have your transceiver on transmit mode in case you are buried. This is marked on most transceivers by the letters TR. When you find someone buried in the snow, your transceiver will beep faster and faster the closer you get to the victim's transceiver. There will also be arrows marking the front of your transceiver. These arrows light up telling you which direction to move in. Once you have a low reading, make sure you probe the snow with as much surface area as possible until you hit something that isn't snow. Once that is done, dig and dig until you unbury the victim. Assess their situation and see if you can get them out safely or if you need extra help. What can we do to stay safe? Best thing we can do is make a plan. So check Northwest Avalanche Center. That's the first thing you should do. I'll have a link for that in my bibliography. If the avalanche danger is considerable or higher at all aspects, just don't go out. If it's moderate to low at all aspects, then you're probably going to be pretty safe. The next order of business in your plan is to plan the route with your group. Make sure at least one person in your group has been to the area that you're riding before, so you know how to get in and how to get out safely. And then lastly, if you are on a hike and someone in your group wants to turn around, make sure everybody in the group turns them around and escorts them back. You do not want to leave somebody abandoned in the wilderness. It's not safe. Always ride with a buddy. If you're buried in an avalanche and you're not riding with someone else, chances are nobody's going to find you in time for you to survive. Get educated. Baker Mountain Guides offers multiple avalanche education and burial rescue courses near Bellingham, and they're fairly good price, and they take you out to Mount Baker. I'll have a link for that in my bibliography. Make sure you have fun out there. It is a dangerous place, but you can also have some days that will really fill the soul. Thanks.